Welcome back to the action, ladies and gentlemen. We are now live then for the 8 p.m. race here in MOR. My name is Jack. I'm your commentator, bringing you the action from reverse Zandvoort. This should be a brilliant race here today as we've got Cohen and CGD coming in with the roses. Thank you very much for the gifts, guys. Welcoming Holly to the TikTok chat. Welcoming Cohen as well. A lot of fan support for Bowmaster, who is currently in, well, I'm going to say currently in 20th place, as if anyone has set a lap time yet. Oz saying, is this the paid one? This is indeed premium members priority social race. Other in the chat as well, we've got Aaron in the chat. OZ is in. We've got Derek in the chat as well. Welcome in, everybody, to your evening action here in MOR. My name is Jack. I'm your commentator. I do just need to make that graphic at the bottom of the screen a little bit smaller because we can't see who is in 22nd place. Give me 2 moments, ladies and gentlemen. Let's just get that a tiny bit smaller. And there we go. We can see who's in 22nd. Apologies for that. We've got 22 drivers then taking to the track. And reverse Zandvoort, always a bit of a chaotic one. We've got MOR Reaper in here as well as MOR Blake repping the new rebranded league. Cohen saying, what's your favourite block in Minecraft? Dark Oak is probably my favourite block. Decent block, that. What's your favourite block, Cohen? It's Jew then. Makes his way through the first sector on his opening lap. And the first lap in this session. We've got 15 minutes and 40 seconds left of qualifying before the drivers take to the track for the Grand Prix session. This should definitely be a chaotic race. All of the reverse tracks throw up something a little bit different for the drivers to try and deal with. The setup's always very different as well as Ju Jens runs off the road then and into the gravel. On his first lap in this session, the Cadillac driver, he got beached on the big curb. The floor of the car got caught. And straight off the road he went into the gravel trap. Has kept the engine running and kept the car moving, fortunately for him. So he won't be beached in the gravel and will continue on in this session. But we'll have to go for another lap, will the Cadillac driver. It's MOR Blake that sets the first lap in this session. A 1 minute 11.0 for him. We've got NUFC Tilly, who is back as well. MCL goes into second place. Wood Butcher in third. We've got Ollie Southall taking to the track as well. The reverse Netherlands Grand Prix brought to you by Ollie Southall and his Banhammer. As we've got a car in the wall down at turn 1. What car is that that's in the wall? It is MCL, who has just set his first lap. May have impeded one of the Alpines there, who has also gone very, very deep. He's avoided damage to the front wing, has MCL. Now looking to try and get out the way for the Williams. The Alpine that was caught in that was Mr. Smith. That's Fabian off the road as well on his latest lap. Jens setting a 35.5 is going to go for another outlap in this session as Jens again widen into the gravel. The Cadillac driver must be enjoying the grip in the gravel. Definitely not much grip out there, I can assure you that. Aviation in the Twitch chat as well, saying it is their home race. Hopefully the drivers will put on a good Grand Prix. MUFC Harvey has just gone into P3 then. Couple more yellow flags out on track. One of them being caused by an Alpine. What car is that? It is DMN Harry, who has got some front wing damage and found their way into the wall. Kian saying, how are we, JP? I'm very well, Kian. Thank you for asking. Hope you're doing well tonight too. Kian currently in the pit lane. I must say, the voice box is definitely struggling a little bit. But I've got 2 days off after this, so we've just got to get through this session, as that is one of the McLarens. And that is Wood Butcher with a big impact into the barriers. Very lucky to still be in this session. That was a big crash for the McLaren. Aviation saying, JP, why did we have to do reverse? I'm not the one that picks the tracks, my friend. As MOR Blake goes quicker. Bo saying, why are we doing reverse? Again, I'm not the one that picks the track. I don't decide. I couldn't tell you, to be completely honest, why we're doing reverse Zandvoort, but I'm all for it. CB on his lap through the final corner. Comes CB. Mr. Smith now goes to the top by 0.2 of a second. CB goes into P4. What about MOR Reaper? A lot of understeer in the penultimate corner. Now to the final corner for the Ferrari driver. The Scuderia placing their hopes on him and Ollie Southall. Reaper crosses the line and goes 9th ahead of his teammate Ollie. Welcome in, Mr. Bilski. Welcome in Crazy as well in the TikTok chat. See you later, Cohen. Thank you for joining this qualifying session. We've got Andy out on track as well. Good evening, Lily. Welcome into the stream. Hope you are well. Andy pushing on this lap for VCarb. Sander has gone into P3 with a 1 minute 11.0. That is very wide for Andy Price, who invalidates his lap then. The VCarb driver will have to set on another one. TTV Kian through the first sector comes the Mercedes driver. Where can he go? Still hunting that top 5. Is tonight the night that Kian finally gets himself into the top 5 or onto the podium? Mercedes driver giving it everything to try and get there. The question is, can he do it? Gavin in the chat as well saying gripping the gravel is a comms tricky one. Love GB. Thank you for tuning in, Gavin. Really looking forward to your commentary tonight at 10 PM. I will be watching. Your commentary earlier was absolutely brilliant, my friend. Really excited to watch how you do later on. Ollie saying something different than no one practices. That is a very good point about why we come to the reverse tracks. Here comes Kian then towards the line and goes at P10 with that lap. Splits the Ferraris. D Ghost retires from the session, and that is a crash for D Ghost. Mercedes driver into the wall. Will we see that on board with Andy? No, we won't. Andy on his latest lap in this session. Sander says it's his first time driving the track. Sander currently in P3, so can't be doing that badly then. As Andy makes his way towards the final corner, what can the VCarb driver do? From P20, making his way towards the line now then, crosses it, goes P2. What a lap from Andy Price. Here comes Bo Master, one of the fan favourites, to start their lap then. What does the McLaren driver have to offer in this session? Gersey saying, damn, I slide straight into the wall. Gersey not happy with the setup. Bowmaster coming through the first sector. Always a difficult set of corners. We've got Albon Lover in the chat as well. Welcome in, Albon Lover. Good to see you. And that is very true. Andy Price and Mr. Smith have set the exact same lap time. That is absolutely crazy. We have seen this before in MOR. as MCL is now out of the session. We might see this. Yes, into the wall, and Ollie Southall is going to join him in the barriers in qualifying. It was what happened to D-Ghost. It's what happens to Ollie Southall. It's what happens to MCL as well. The three drivers all together in the same barrier in qualifying. That one particular corner catching all of the drivers out. We saw Jens going wide there and into the gravel. D-Ghost was the first victim to fall foul. It was then MCL. I went on board with Ollie just to see if we could see where MCL had crashed. And Ollie Southall making the exact same mistake. MOR Blake now goes back to the top of the timesheets with 6 minutes and 45 seconds left. That is a big, big moment in this session. MCL currently in 6th. Ollie Southall in 16th with D-Ghost in 20th. Mr. Smith now back to the top as well. Matt Connor currently in 5th. CB in 7th. Looks to be pushing on a flying lap in this session. Is the Haas driver on a push lap? It doesn't seem like it. What about Harvey then? Harvey most certainly looks like he is pushing on. Harvey round the final corner, deploying the battery. And Harvey does improve, stays in P8, gets within a 10th of CB. What about Butcher then? Can Butcher try and get himself into the top 9? He's pushing on to his lap now, is he? Across the line, isn't deploying any battery, swerves out of the way for MOR Blake, who I believe is going on to another lap. It definitely looks like it. So can Blake try and take pole positions on back-to-back days? Had never taken a pole position before. Took pole position in the race last night, the final race in WRC history. Blake took his first pole position. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to convert that to victory. And Blake backing out of this lap, a little bit of a mistake and going onto the curb. Does Blake have the pace to get himself towards the front of the field again? He's doing very well in this session so far. Will Blake be going on another lap now, or will it be into the pit lane for Blake? Looks like it is going to be the pit lane for the Aston Martin driver. MUFC Harvey on another push lap then. Currently sat in P8 at the minute is the Williams. Is there any chance of him trying to get up? He needs about half a 10th to get ahead of CB. We won't see any more of MCL in this session. Butcher says he missed the pit lane. He may have ran out of fuel on his in lap. Here comes Harvey then, confident through the corner where we've already lost 3 drivers in this session. Harvey with a little bit of lack of grip for the rear end. Doesn't catch him out though. And he makes his way towards the line. Is there improvement for the Williams? No, there is not. 2 tenths down at the line. Bo currently sat in P13. Not what the Bo fans would want to see. Still pushing on though is the McLaren. Looks like it's going to be coming into the pit lane though. Is already a second down on this lap. Only about 3 minutes left in this session. Harry currently down in 21st with a 1 minute 28.5. Harry, surely to improve, does improve. The P20 with a 1 minute 14.1. Gets themselves a little bit closer now. Dives out of the way for the Cadillac driver. That's AERT Sander. Onto what we can assume is his final lap of this session. The Cadillac currently sat in P2. About a 10th off of provisional pole. It's Mr. Smith. But it is currently on provisional pole. Excuse me. Blake in third. He's on an outlap too. The question is, who can take pole position around this circuit? It's a different one. Not many people will have practiced here before. Both saying this track's horrible. That may account for why they're down in P13 at the moment. The Ollie Southall fan base has arrived. Ollie currently in P16. Spitball, you might be the only fan in the Ollie Southall fan base. As Sander comes across the line, is going to go for another outlap. Blake also going for another outlap as well. Have we got any Ollie Southall fans in the chat? Let's put out the question to the fans. Who's the supporter of Ollie Southall in the TikTok and in the Twitch? Put your messages in the chat. Who's supporting Ollie in this race? Have we got any fans for Ollie who comes in with a couple of TikTok gifts? Thank you, Ollie. Really do appreciate that, my friend. It doesn't look like you're getting any replies. Oh no, TTV Kian says he's an Ollie Southall fan. You've got one at least, Ollie. TTV Kian, the main Ollie Southall fan. 30 seconds then left in qualifying. Mr. Smith, the man currently on provisional pole, will be the first man to break down the barriers in qualifying. A 1 minute 10.4 is the current benchmark set by himself. Can Mr. Smith try and break that down? The Alpine driver making his way through the middle sector then. He's going to make the same mistake and into the barriers. The man on provisional pole. We've already lost 3 drivers to that corner. Make it 4. Insane stuff in qualifying. 4 drivers lost to the same corner. Will there be any more? Andy Price now comes through. Keeps it on the road. And sets after a pole position lap time. The V-Carb driver, I don't believe has ever had a Formula 1 pole position. That's Bo going off and retiring from the session. Here comes Andy then, round the final corner. Is there improvement for the V-Carb? Runs onto the grass, on the exit, crosses the line, cannot improve. So what about Sander then? He goes to provisional pole. Blake across the line, he improves, but it's not enough. So what about Fabian then? He's invalidated. A pick comes across the line. He's P12. Tomo has invalidated his lap. Harry is not on a push lap either. That is qualifying over, ladies and gentlemen. It is Sander on pole position for the reverse Dutch Grand Prix. It is so close between him and Mr. Smith. Blake and Andy will share the second row. Matt Connor in 5th place. The big story in that qualifying. 5 drivers out in qualifying. And it is a home Grand Prix pole position for Sander. How much will that mean to him? Smith saying he was 0.2 down, so gave it his all. Overdrove the car and ended up in the barriers. What a qualifying, ladies and gentlemen. One of the most chaotic qualifyings I have ever seen in MOR. Sander with a home race pole position. It's an all-Dutch 1-2 for the Dutch Grand Prix. Ladies and gentlemen, what a race we've got coming up for you. The reverse Dutch Grand Prix is up next. Welcome back to the action, ladies and gentlemen. We're on the formation lap then for the reverse Dutch Grand Prix. And what a start we have got lined up for us. Is it going to be one of the Dutch drivers that wins here in Zandvoort? Mr. Smit and Sander both looking for home race victories. It's MOR Blake in P3. Looking to spoil the Dutch party. Andy in 4th with Matt Connor in 5th place. Strategy-wise, Tomo and Mr. Fresh will start on the softs. It's hard compound tyres for D Ghost, MCL, Fabian, Matt Connor and Andy. Everyone else starting on the medium compound tyres. What a race we have got coming up for you. This should be a brilliant Grand Prix session. Sander, Mr. Smit, Blake and Andy. That is your top 4. Sander and Mr. Smit. You can see the giant Dutch flags everywhere you go. Can they try and pull off a home race victory? They line up on the front row of the grid together. This is going to get spicy. Into turn 1. Sander from Smit. And I'm sure the crowd will be roaring them on. The engines roar to life then here in Zandvoort. 5 red lights ahead of the drivers and we can go racing for the Dutch Grand Prix. Sander does get away well from pole position, but Mr. Smit right with him, gaining towards turn 1. The Alpine driver will have the inside line. It's so close between the Cadillac and the Alpine. As through turn 1 we go, it's Sander that will lead the Dutch Grand Prix. Mr. Smit in 2nd with Blake in 3rd. As I think we've got a few crashes. MCL and Ollie Southall right down at the back. None of them have damage though, as TTV Kian and D Ghost also down towards the back of the grid. We've got Tomo Lad who's falling down as well. Jew Jens and Wood Butcher battling away. Jens also a Dutch driver looking to impress the home crowd. What can he pull off in the Cadillac here tonight. Lover of Disney saying the pit entry is awful on this reverse. I most certainly agree with that. It's very difficult. As Jen's already using all of his battery on lap 1 and flying into the banking. Mr. Smith then is leading. Not Mr. Smith, sorry. Sander is leading the Dutch Grand Prix. Lap 2 of 36 we move on to. It's Blake in third then, with CB in fourth. Matt Connor on the hard compound tyres running in fifth place. Ollie saying who got pole. It was Sander that got pole. A home race pole position for Sander. Yellow flag, and that's for Harry, who has dropped all the way to the back of the grid. A great start to this Grand Prix then. Sander versus Smith versus Blake versus CB. Yellow flag at the back again, and that's NUFC Tilly. The Williams driver struggled in Austria earlier. Has managed to get going once more. Matt Connor has disconnected. We'll get Matt Connor back in the session as quickly as possible. Shoot him the invite there. Sander is your leader then. Blake really challenging in behind with Mr. Smith. And all this is going to do is allow Sander to run away with this. The gap now a second between Smith and Sander. Smith using a bit of battery to get himself back in tabs with the Cadillac driver. The Alpine is clawing back a little bit of that time. Blake was right in behind. He's now a second clear of CB. So the top three running away in this race, although Blake now falling back behind Mr. Smith. Mr. Fresh currently in 7th after starting on the soft compound tyres. MCL gets through on Tomo, lad. We're nearly 3 abreast down this straight. Very chaotic stuff in the middle sector. Down the inside, look, Stu on MCL. MCL forced towards the grass. No, that's a pick, sorry. Forced towards the grass. Smith says the fastest lap of the race as Bo challenging away with Matt Connor, who is still disconnected. Matt Connor now down to 7th. The 2 V-carbs of Andy and Fabian fighting away. Fabian falls back. Andy up into 8th, soon to be 7th. When he gets through on Matt Connor's Aston Martin. Blake has been dropped on this lap. Mr. Smith right with Sander once again then. And the 2 Dutch drivers competing in the reverse Dutch Grand Prix. Giving it everything to try and give the fans a home race victory. Sander and Smith out in front. Sander with the fully gold helmet. You can see Mr. Smith with a hint of orange, and I'm sure that is a nod to the Dutch fans. MOR Reaper has had a moment towards the back of the grid. Has picked up a bit of front wing damage, it looks like. Now running in 22nd. And UFC Tilly has got by Ollie Southall in 20th. Matt Connor, his AI now falling down to 10th. We're on lap 5 of 36 in this race. Fabian and Mr. Fresh doing battle. Smith and Sander doing battle. Blake is in 3rd. He has got CB for company. It's then the 2 McLarens of Butcher and Bo, but Andy Price looking to split the 2 McLarens. Bo having to defend from Andy. Andy not able to make a move at the moment on the hard compound tyres. Bo a little bit wide through there. I would not be surprised if we have a crash through this corner with what we saw in qualifying. Towards the main straight we go then with our two leaders. To begin lap 6 of 36. Still 30 laps to go of this Grand Prix. Mr. Smith versus Sander. Sander looking completely in control at the moment. The Cadillac driver soaking up all of the pressure. And is quite easily out in front, but Mr. Smith definitely keeping him company. And if any mistake is made by Sander, I'm sure Mr. Smith will be right there to capitalize. The Cadillac driver is your leader then. Blake still falling back from that fight, but still in a podium place. A good spot for Blake at the moment. As both of them using a lot of battery. That's a pick that has gone off the road and is now down in 20th place. Has avoided sustaining any damage. Will continue on in this race unharmed. Mr. Smith setting after Sander. As through turn 2 we go with the Alpine driver. On board with Mr. Smith. Andy Price finally gets past Bo and up into 6th. It's Fabian that's in 7th. MCL doing battle with MUFC Harvey. MCL takes 10th place as Harry has had a moment out of turn 2. The Alpine driver now falls to 18th. Mr. Smith still keeping tabs with Sander, but doesn't look like he's able to make a move at this moment. It is relatively hard to overtake around this track. Mr. Smith, is he able to get the exit out of the final corner? That is really what the Alpine driver needs. He needs to stick with Sander through the rest of the lap and then get a good exit out of the final corner, and that will allow him to try and attack. Or he's got to use a bit more battery somewhere else to try and surprise Sander and get himself through. He has got more battery than the Cadillac driver. So is Mr. Smith maybe planning something a little bit different? CB and Blake doing battle then for the final podium position. CB round the outside of the Aston Martin. This is going to get very close, and they do touch. Blake, is he going to back out of it? No, he's not. Still on the inside line. CB, though, with the confidence in abundance to go round the outside. Blake is still going to fight this, though. Into the banking we go. Blake on the inside line breaks a lot deeper. CB on the more natural racing line does take the position away from the Aston Martin, as Blake is going to be the first man to come in for a pit stop. The Aston Martin looking for the undercut. DJ Callum saying, what are the race days? Every single day, my friend. We race multiple times, 7 days a week. RLO, this is indeed the 8 PM social race here in MOR Esports. That is Blake getting a little bit wide on the curb. Avoids going off into the wall or into the gravel. Tomo also into the pit lane as well. Sander and Mr. Smith still fighting away for the home race victory. It's CB running in third with Butcher in fourth place. And it looks like Sander is going to come into the pit lane then, looking for the undercut and trying to escape away from the Alpine driver. As we've now got a safety car deployed. Who is out of the race? It's Stu, who has crashed in this race. And you can see the car has bounced right back onto the racing line. Stu out of this Grand Prix. And that is our first retirement in this race. And what a time for Sander to come into the pit lane right as the safety car came out. Mr. Smith continues on. Surely will be coming into the pit lane. The Ghost gets a 10-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane, as does NUFC Tilly. I'd imagine we'll have most of the grid coming in this lap. All of our crashes in qualifying and in the race have been the exact same corner. Mr. Smith then will dive into the pit lane at the end of this lap. The Alpine driver, you would imagine, is going to come out behind Sander. Sander just coming through the banking now. The Alpine into its box in the pit lane. And Sander may not come out in front here because Mr. Smith is just coming down the pit lane. I don't think Sander's going to come out in front here. No! Mr. Smith has taken the lead. Zandvoort was never able to get past on track. But with a bit of help from the safety car, Mr. Smith now leads here in Zandvoort. It's Sander in second place then. CB is in third. Andy fourth with Butcher in fifth. Blake in sixth place. Fabian is seventh. Sander not happy with his luck. Was that Blake or Reaper that picked up a penalty? It was Blake. Reaper, sorry. That came into the pit lane and got a penalty. Mr. Smith acknowledging that he's got some luck to get into the lead of this race. And we have seen it is very hard to overtake. Is it going to be a little bit easier for Sander to try and get past? Or will Mr. Smith now be the obstacle and Sander be the aggressor? We've got 38 of you in the TikTok live. If you are new to MOR Esports, please do consider dropping us a follow down below. We're racing 7 days a week, 6 times a day, every single day of the week. So make sure if you are a fan of F1 League Racing, you are following up. We've got 3,610 followers. We are looking to try and get to 4,000 by the end of this week. Someone saying, what region are these races? The lobby hosts are normally based in EU. But no matter where you're from, you can come and join us. We've got American drivers. We've got European drivers. I believe we've had African drivers before. Riley saying, did this used to be WRC? It did indeed. The rebrand happened last night. Crazy saying he's part of the Kian fan base. RLO saying he's put himself in as a reserve for the 10 PM. Who does he add if he gets in? Someone will ping you, letting you know that they're the lobby host. And you will add them. Edvin says, will Mikey release all the tracks for tomorrow? at once or one at a time? Normally, I think it's all at once, but don't hold me to that. I'm not 100% sure. Lily saying I'm part of the Jack Patient fan base. Nice to know that I've got some fans in the chat as well. Thank you, Lily. Bo saying that someone's just overtook them. Might be referring to MCL. Bo has now got back into 8th place. Lily, I do appreciate that, and I do know that. Thank you. Jordan, I won't be answering your question on stream. Can't say I have an answer either, really. Boso's got it back. Safety car should be in this lap then, ladies and gentlemen. We will go racing on lap 14 of 36. Edvin says he's trying to figure out if he really wants to do 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. straight. Honestly, you'd be surprised. It does not feel that long. I mean, I've been commentating. I've commentated 5 times today. 10 a.m., 12 p.m., and then 4, 6, and 8. And to be completely honest, I could go and do the 10. It's not felt like a long day at all. Bo saying they've done all of them today. Incredible commitment from Bo. Alexander saying, JP, who's commentating the 10 p.m. social, you do it, please. No, trust me. If you are going to be around for the 10 p.m. social, the name of the commentator is Gavin Bass. He is a brilliant commentator, genuinely incredible commentator. So please do go and show him some love as well at 10. Oscar says, how many races have you done today? I have commentated 5. I don't typically race. I do sometimes. But yeah, I've commentated 5 races today. The 10 a.m., the 12 p.m., the 4 p.m., the 6 p.m., and now the 8 p.m. Was Gavin Bass the one at Mexico? He was indeed. KHR, I don't know the track. I'm sorry. It's Mr. Smith then. Gets us back to racing conditions. Green flags fly here in Zandvoort. It's Mr. Smith looking for a home Grand Prix victory. Sander in second place with CB running in third. Looks like we've got some kerfuffle, and that is Bo, who has done a barrel roll after a crash. That is a huge crash down the main straight. The McLaren driver flipping down the main straight. And we have got another safety car deployed here at Zandvoort. A massive crash down the main straight as the safety car restarted and we went back to green flags. Contact with another driver. Bo saying they were fully pushed into the wall. That is a huge impact for Bo. That is 2 massive crashes we have seen today in MOR. Edward at Abu Dhabi. Bo at Reverse Zandvoort. And that is a huge impact into the barriers, slamming back down into the circuit. And Bo is out of this race. One of the fan favourites in this Grand Prix. That has got to be one of the biggest crashes I have seen in a league race. Ollie saying the same thing in the TikTok chat. The car flipping out of the barriers. A huge, huge crash. I'm sure we will see clips of that again. Bo saying that it was Wood Butcher, their teammate. The 2 McLarens coming together on the safety car restart. And Bo with one of the biggest crashes you will see in F1 league racing. The whole crash was not on stream, Bo. I just caught the end of it where you flipped over. But from what I saw, there was a massive impact into the barriers. The car slamming into the ground. A huge moment in this race. Safety car deployed once again. A few clips will be emerging in the TikTok. I'm sure that won't be the last we've seen of that. Lap 16 then. We've got 20 laps to go of this race. And that was a massive impact. This track proving very difficult for all of the drivers. In qualifying, we had 4 out at the same corner. 2 then crashed at that exact corner in the race conditions. Bo with a huge impact down at turn 1 and through the banking. Absolutely crazy impact. Safety car, I would assume, will be in this lap then. All the drivers have caught up. Ollie Southall saying MCL might have a great view, and that is a good question. A good point, actually. Because MCL, I believe, was behind Bowmaster 97 when that crash happened. Bo saying, how do I report? There's a channel in the TikTok where you'll be able to make a clip. Safety car is in this lap then. Mr. Smith is your leader. Stander in second place. Two Dutch drivers. 1 and 2 in this race. Lunar Eclipse saying, JP, could we talk after? No problem at all, Luna. Feel free to give me a DM on TikTok or Discord or wherever you'd like. That's not a problem at all. When does Mr. Smith get this race underway then? Out of the final corner we go. Still not getting this racing going. Now he gets the power down. Stander goes with him, and towards turn 1 we go then. Hopefully avoiding any more airplane crashes as through turn 1 we go then. They all seem to be getting through cleanly, 3 abreast into turn 1 at one point, but they are all through clean then. It's Mr. Smith that is your leader. Stander in second place as we've had another crash, and is that Matt Connor that's lost positions? That's someone in the wall, and that's Butcher. The 2 McLarens we think came together, and that's why Bo is out of this race. And now Butcher having a moment into the barriers as well, and big damage for the McLaren. A lot of people staying calmer in the TikTok chat after that collision with Bo. If you are looking to join the league, I've pasted the website link. Mr. Fresh has had a moment as well. Mr. Smith looking to try and run away with this one already. The gap 8/10 as we move on to lap 18. This has been a crazy race so far. Butcher, we assume, will be back into the pit lane. He is back into the pit lane. Who do we think is going to win this race then? Mr. Smith is your leader. Stander, as we've got another car off, and that is Jude Jens. In his home Grand Prix. He's in the gravel. Gets the car spun back round. Potential front wing damage to that Cadillac. And while 2 Dutch drivers are 1 and 2, the 3rd Dutch driver in this race falls down to 18th as the virtual safety car is now deployed. The link I've sent is a website link. It's not a Discord link. So make sure you paste it into your web browser as a pick. Gets a drive-through penalty for speeding under the VSC. It's still Mr. Smith. That is your leader then. Stander in second place. CB running in third. Andy is fourth with MCL in fifth place. As someone else has had a moment, I believe. MOR Reaper dropping a lot of positions. Must have been off the road somewhere. Is now down the inside. No, into the pit lane goes a pick. This has been an insane race so far. We've had chaos. We've had controversy. We have had absolutely everything happen in this Grand Prix. It's AERT Sander who is now your leader. He has got past Mr. Smith. Smith looking to fight this back. Is he able to try and get through as Fresh picks up a penalty? Sander giving it everything to try and win his home Grand Prix with the overtake boost and using a bit more battery. Has got himself into the lead. Mr. Smith running in second with CB in third. Edvin cheering for Sander as we've got another yellow flag, and I think that is Jens who is crawling through the first sector. Looks like Mr. Fresh has retired in the pit lane as well. Mr. Smith chasing after Sander. Sander, though, looking quicker at this phase of the race. They've also got CB in behind them as we've had another crash, and that is Butcher again, who is into the barriers. And the McLaren driver once again contact into the wall. Butcher struggling in this race at the moment. Mr. Smith still chasing down Sander. Alpine versus Cadillac. Both of them have their fans in the chat. The question is, who is going to delight their fans? And who may come back to the paddock with a little bit of disappointment? Smith currently in second. Sander currently leading. Lap 20 of 36. 16 laps to go in this race. Sander is your leader. Mr. Smith is close to him though, and is gaining on the Cadillac driver. Through turn one we go. Not able to make a move. Yellow flags down at turn one, but they get cleared up very quickly. As Ollie Southall up into fifth place, past MOR Blake. Ollie having a great showing in this race. Where are the Ollie fans in the chat? Someone asking, what track is this? This is reverse Zandvoort, my friend. And Ollie Southall doing a great job around here. The Ferrari driver absolutely flying. Blake in sixth. Andy on the medium compound tyres, still in tabs with the lead fight. We have got four drivers fighting for the lead. Sander, Smith, CB and Andy Price. Two Englishmen versus two Dutchmen. Here at the Dutch Grand Prix, we've had Reaper, that's had a moment. No, it's Tomo who has had a moment. Harry trying to fight away as Andy now comes into the pit lane. Is Harry able to get through on Tomo? Doesn't look like it for the time being. Andy in the pit lane then for a fresh set of hard compound tyres. That leaves three of us to fight away for the win. CB, Mr. Smith and Sander as Blake gets back through on Ollie Southall and up into fourth. Ollie is going to look to fight this though. He's deploying the battery to the outside. Goes the Ferrari. Blake goes deeper on the inside. Ollie looking for the switch back but not able to get through. Now darting down the inside of the Aston Martin. Again, not able to make a pass. That is a very risky corner to go for an overtake. Ollie is going to go for it for a more dangerous one. Somehow, they don't make contact. Edvin saying, do it for your banhammer, Ollie. Towards the banking, Ollie with the dive bomb. Not able to get through on the Aston. This is the battle for 4th place. Ollie doing an incredible job in this Grand Prix. Jay says the Aston's going to get banned. Why is the Aston going to get banned? Blake running in 4th. Ollie in 5th. TTV Kian is in 6th place at the moment. What a drive from Kian as well. Incredible stuff. Ollie may have to use the banhammer to get by on Blake, or he can just go down the inside on the Aston Martin. Inside line will now go to Blake. Outside line to Ollie. The outside, the more conventional racing line, and Ollie with a brilliant move into 5th place. Is this the new era of Ollie Southall? What a drive from the Ferrari. Blake looking for the move back again. These two so close to touching. Blake and Ollie Southall, there is a little bit of wheel banging. Blake looks for the switchback. Not able to get through. As we've had, it looks like a crash. One of the Alpines having a moment. That's Harry down in 14th. As we move on then to lap 24. Blake in the slipstream of the Ferrari as Sander, I believe, is disconnected round the outside. Goes Blake. Ollie defends it incredibly. I have never seen Ollie Southall race like this as Blake goes wide into the grass and spins round. The Aston Martin driver fighting away with the Ferrari. And Blake goes round and into 7th. Ollie Southall now clearing 3rd. Sander has dropped down to 3rd after disconnecting. Smith now leads from CB. And Blake, I think, has had another moment. He has. Blake now down to 11th. Has avoided any damage. Now gets the 3-second time penalty as well. And Blake's race falling apart at this phase of the reverse Dutch Grand Prix. Kian is passed by Fabian into the final corner. Kian gonna look to fight this back, but doesn't have as much battery. Kian now down to 6th place, looking for that top 5 finish. It's Mr. Smith that is your leader. CB in 2nd place. This is the fight for the win now. Here at the reverse Dutch Grand Prix. CB right in behind Mr. Smith. With the overtake boost as well. Can the Haas driver try and get into the lead of this race? They have been closely contested all race long. Smith versus CB. The Haas car is gaining on the Alpine. Doesn't have as much battery, but is that going to matter as we make our way towards turn 1? What an exit for CB. Looking to spoil the Dutch party. Makes his way towards the inside line of the banking. Just drops back a bit into turn 1 and isn't going to be able to make the move. But CB is definitely looking to spoil the Dutch party here at Zandvoort tonight. Smith looking to send the crowd into raptures. The Dutch army will go mental if Smith is able to win this one. The question is, can he? Mr. Smith is leading. CB in 2nd. Sanders AI in 3rd place. Ollie Southall could end up on the podium here. Fabian in 5th is gaining on Ollie though, and Ollie on older tyres. TTV Kian in 6th place on 16 lap old mediums. Surely cannot take those 26 laps. There is no way that he will be able to take that. Andy running in 7th and is right behind TTV Kian to the inside of the banking. Goes to V-Carb. Kian brakes later. Kian very, very brave on those old tyres, as again Butcher has had a moment. And Butcher slowing down on the outside of the banking. The McLaren driver. This is big damage to the front wing for the McLaren as Kian and Tilly come into the pit lane, as does the Ghost. Massive damage for Butcher. And now down in 19th place, a long way away. Blake gets the fastest lap of the race after boxing. He is now about 3/10 behind TTV Kian, who is on the new hard compound tyres. How well can Kian do in this race? How well can Ollie Southall do in this race? He's got Fabian right behind him. He's got Andy and MCL that will be gaining on the fresher tyres. Can Ollie hold on and potentially take a podium in this race? All he's got to do is gain on Sanders' AI that is coming into box. Ollie stays out, and no offence to Ollie, I never thought I would say this in a WRC F1 session. Ollie Southall is running in the podium places as we've got a yellow flag, and that's Tomo, who has gone off the road. And I'll tell you what would be perfect right now, a safety car. That would really shake things up in this race. Everyone realistically would box for softs or mediums, and that would make an incredible end to this Grand Prix. Kian gets through on a pick. CB still fighting away with Mr. Smith. Ollie now in 3rd place. Has got Fabian, Andy and MCL to fend off. But Ollie Southall, can he hold on for a podium? I don't believe he has stood on the podium in WRC F1. Fabian gets a little bit out of shape, as CB is still gaining on Mr. Smith, but Smith soaking up the pressure for now. Ollie managing the battery so well, and that is the main thing around this track. Andy Price looking to attack his teammate, and Fabian honestly could be Ollie's lifesaver here if he doesn't just get out the way and holds Andy and MCL up. He genuinely could get a podium, but it looks like Fabian is going to let Andy go then. Andy now in 4th place on much fresher tyres than Ollie. The question is, can Ollie hold on? The gap between them, 2/10. Burning the battery is Ollie. Saving the battery is Andy Price, as Mr. Smith has now gained away from CB. It doesn't look like CB. He may have made a mistake or something. But this is the battle for the final podium place. Ollie versus Andy. MCL and Fabian involved as well. Andy Price is gaining on Ollie. Towards turn 1 we go. Andy switching to the inside line. That could have been a very big crash. Andy and Ollie come together. Ollie stays in 3rd. Andy stays in 4th. Andy with a great exit. Is Ollie going to be able to fight this? He's burning the battery around the outside. Looks Andy. That will now turn to the inside line. And Ollie Southall has to give up the position as the virtual safety car is now deployed. And that has come at the worst time for Ollie. If that came about 5 seconds earlier, it would have preserved him in third place. Mr. Smith comes into the pit lane, as does CB. Why would CB box? Why would he not stay out and take the track position? Unless those tyres are literally about to blow up, there wouldn't be enough time to gain the gap back. CB could have taken this race win. Fabian is going to come into the pit lane. Ollie stays out on the 20-lap-old hards and is going to look to fight for this podium on track. Andy Price in third place. It's Ollie Southall in fourth. As we now go back to green flags, it's Harry that gets a drive-through penalty. And Ollie, you can see the difference in grip with Andy. It's just falling away from him. MCL now on the back of the Ferrari driver as well. But Ollie Southall looking for a top 5 finish. And I do hope this is a new era for Ollie Southall, who has worked very hard in the background to try and get quicker. And what a monumental day this would be for the Ferrari driver to finish in the top 5. Could have potentially had a podium, but the strategy to go long on the hards has unfortunately not been the right one today. MCL in 5th place. And it's surely only a matter of time before MCL gets himself into 4th. Ollie with a poor exit. MCL pulls towards the inside line, now to the outside. Obviously saw what happened between Ollie and Andy and decides the outside line is safer. Nothing that Ollie can do to try and fight it. And Ollie now down into 5th. Ferrari having a great day at the minute in 5th and 6th, but Fabian currently runs in 7th on the fresh soft compound tyres. Will be looking to try and at least split the Ferraris. Wood Butcher sets the fastest lap of the race as there's a yellow flag, and that is for Harry, who is backwards at easily the most dangerous part of the circuit. Gets back on the track and is still in P16. There is big damage to that front wing as well. It's going very wide is Harry. We've got another yellow flag, and that is for Tomo, who has also had a moment at that part of the circuit. Not sure if there's front wing damage. It does look like it. From this point of view, we can't really see. Yes, there is big damage for Tomo as Butcher crashes out, and a late safety car is deployed in this race. Lap 33 of 36. The safety car is deployed in this race after Harry has crashed out. And this is going to be very, very important for the races of Ollie Southall, for the races of CB, Andy Price, MCL. Kian and Blake can try and get themselves back into it. This will be a brilliant climax to the reverse Dutch Grand Prix. It's Mr. Smith that will be your leader. I doubt either of those are going to come into the pit lane. They don't. They stay out. Andy MCL surely going to come into the pit lane. No! Andy stays out! I can't believe it! MCL into the pit lane. Ollie into the pit lane, of course. Andy stays out when realistically everyone's going to come into the pit lane besides Fabian. What am I seeing? Why has Andy elected to stay out in this race? I am absolutely baffled. MCL will come out in 5th. Ollie Southall will come out in 6th. Andy Price has surely just thrown away a chance of a podium finish in this race. Evidently thinks that he can hold on. The question is, when will the safety car be in? Because if it's only out, if we only go racing, for 1 lap, as the safety car is in this lap. Oh my word! So Mr. Smith and CB then, Andy Price joins them. Fabian, MCL and Ollie are going to be miles behind this unless they get the power down. This is the weirdest safety car I've ever seen. There is only 5 drivers that have caught up to the pack. And Mr. Smith is going to get us racing. Ollie joins the pack as well at the last moment. But it's the top 6 that will be fighting for victory. Nobody else with the opportunity to catch up. Look at the start of Ollie Southall towards the inside of Fabian. Fabian gets the better exit, but onto the curb he goes. Ollie Southall moves up into 5th place. What a safety car restart from Ollie Southall. The weirdest safety car period I have ever seen. We are on the penultimate lap of this race, and Andy is going to be under so much pressure from the likes of MCL and Ollie. Andy thinking that he can hold on, but MCL right in behind. He is gaining towards the V-carb, looking to the outside of the V-carb. Is Andy able to defend this? We're on board with MCL. Round the outside line goes MCL and takes the final podium position away. Can Ollie now try and get a top 4 finish? As we're about to move on to the final lap of what has been a brilliant Dutch Grand Prix. Mr. Smith is your leader and is looking for a home Grand Prix victory. CB is in 2nd, was trying to spoil the Dutch party. Ollie does get through on Andy and up into 4th place. I doubt we'll be able to do much more than that. He's a 2.5 behind MCL. But for Mr. Smith, it is a dream come true for the Alpine driver. He came to his home track with thoughts and prayers of winning. The Dutch army will rise in their forces. The atmosphere will be incredible. The flares will be set off. The celebrations will last long into the night. For Mr. Smith, who rounds the final corner at the Dutch Grand Prix. It is a home race victory for the Alpine driver. The Dutch Grand Prix goes Dutch in MOR. Mr. Smith wins the Dutch Grand Prix. It is CB who comes home for 2nd, 80 milliseconds off of CB. Ollie Southall, take a bow, my friend. P4. Ollie fans, get in here. Absolutely incredible drive from Ollie. Andy finishes 5th with Fabian in 6th. It's Harvey in 7th place. A pick is in 8th with Reaper in 9th place. Blake is 10th. We've got Sander in 11th with Jens in 12th. Matt Connor 13th. Kian 14th. Ghost in 15th with Tilly in 16th. And Tomo Lad in 17th place. Kian, I think, maybe going for the fastest lap in this race. What a reverse Dutch Grand Prix we have had here today. What a way to kick off the action here in the evening. And it's a home race victory for Mr. Smith. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Ollie Southall saying robbed of driver of the day. You're my driver of the day, Ollie. And that's all that matters. You're my driver of the day. It's Mr. Smith that wins his home Grand Prix. CB in second with MCL in third. Well, my name's been Jack. I've been your commentator. What a day of commentary we've had. 5 days, 5 commentary sessions today with you, bringing you all the action in MOR. If you are new, make sure you've dropped a follow down below. Please go and show some support to Gavin Bass when he is live at 10 o'clock in about half an hour's time. I'm now off for 2 days. I'm going to go and enjoy a break with my girlfriend and recover from all the commentary recently, but I will be straight back with you on Thursday. Thank you very much for all the support today. Thank you for all the gifts, all the views, all the likes, all the subscriptions, everything. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning in with me. My name's been Jack. I've been your commentator. To all of you, until I see you next time, take care and ta-ra.